Hello everybody, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to talk to you guys before I went live on Facebook on the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom, White Wolf. And if you want to check out that live, you can check that out on Facebook. But I wanted to talk about how everything, when it seems to get very heated or agitated or angry, whenever we get to a boiling point, we can be the melting pot, we can be the boiling water. Sometimes we have to wait until we get to that spontaneous combustion or that chemical reaction that comes out of us. And we wonder why that happens, why we suddenly have that moment where we just absolutely explode. You have that moment because every time that you explode, you're actually releasing, you're actually letting go, you're actually addressing a problem instead of letting the problem be more of a problem. So it's not bad to explode or get triggered or feel like a victim, because you have to get past that. You have to feel into that energy. You have to get past that energy. You have to exercise that energy as if it is your little gremlin in your basement or your inner demons or whatever it may be. There is grace for us all, and we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to feel like we have to be somebody's savior. We don't have to feel like we have to be everybody else's savior. We don't have to feel like we have to be a certain way to others. But we should try to bless everybody around us, and we should try to hold ourselves to a different standard, and also just allow ourselves to breathe the light of the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom, the light of Source, in everything that we do, almost to the point where we're listening to our favorite song, to the point where it just always plays along. It just keeps going. We're banging to the beat of our own drum, if you will. So I wanted to make this video because I was feeling a lot of agitation. I'm not making it yet. I'm not doing these things yet. The promises hasn't come yet. The manifestations haven't come yet. But it all depends on how you look at it, how you have a different perspective, how you look at it from a different vantage point. I can comfortably say that 4 years ago, my life was completely different. I was unfulfilled. I didn't like my job. I didn't like my friends or family. I didn't feel like I resonated within that energy, within that realm of space, within that realm of time, within the same paradigm, within Groundhog Day. So then at some point, your soul wants to reach out to you. Your higher self wants to reach out to you. The calling wants to reach out to you. It wants you to grab it. It wants you to enjoy the ride. That is the calling. So, but in the midst of the calling, we have valleys and we have peak moments. We have great moments. We have fun-filled moments. And then we have moments of integration, moments that we're getting back to ourselves. But it's even more than that. It's an inking out of the old blood so that the new blood can come in. And this is what I'm also going to talk about on the live on Facebook, is that we're having new DNA installed within ourselves. We're having more new, vibrant DNA, conscious DNA, DNA that comes from extraterrestrial bloodlines. So it's different legions of awakening. It's different aspects of ourselves. It's different personality traits. It's different ways of manifesting. Manifestation by thought, by allowing yourself to feel the vibration before you enter into the vibration, knowing that that singular moment in time is everything. And that's why I made that YouTube short, but I wanted to describe it to you guys because I feel like I want to do more with YouTube. I want to make more videos from my phone, and I wanted to really reach out on YouTube and TikTok and all these other platforms, because we're not reaching a hand out and drawing people to us. We're really just drawing people to source and allowing them to be the gateway, to be the Stargate. It's like in the movie Stargate, where this actor, James Spader, was in the midst of walking into a portal and walking onto another planet. So that's what the DNA is like. But it's very abrupt, it's very quick, it's very accelerated, it's very bombastic with the way that it heals you, with the way that it makes you realize, with the way that it's trying to make you become the embodiment of Christ consciousness. And also just allowing yourself to walk into any timeline, to perfect every singular moment, to perfect every moment inside of a moment, and being the essence of the moment and not the reminiscence of a moment. To be the moment, to be it, to love it, to know it, right? So it was funny because the past couple weeks were really rough for me. And I just want to be raw and authentic and be honest, because we all go through it. We're not exempt. We're all trying to become the blessing and be the blessing and live by the blessing and lead by that example of that blessing. So we're all just leading by example, if you will. And so when we're leading by example, we're trying to become and set an example ourselves. So the bleeding will stop, the agitation will subside, the anger will subside. So there is good news. And generally, I never go and make my videos wanting to promote bad news. I don't get bad energy. I don't get, because that's not the energy that I like to resonate in. I like to empower people. I love to give them good news. I love to give them the blessing. I love to give them tools and ways of learning from my channel, from this vessel, from my higher self, to the physical body, to not limit the physical mind. So that's the way that we should look at life, is that we should always do it out of a sense that we get something in return, or that we feel like people need to support us, or feeling like a victim because we haven't got to a certain point yet, or that I'm not able to give my daughter some money because she really needs it, or that I forgot to fulfill a promise to a person and I broke off the engagement because it was not serving me anymore. And a lot of the times we feel like we have to hold on to our past transgressions, and we don't have to whatsoever. Now, some people can go about it with clear communication. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes people infiltrate your boundaries and they go past it and they go cross a line. And we all have to stand in our authority and know that we can always be our energy. We leave this life as a new person, as a new soul, as a new consciousness whenever we awaken. So anything of our old reality, anything that is not serving us, no matter if it's people, places, or things, because that's being detached and that's not attachment, but it's more than that. But that's awareness, that's truth, that's standing in who you are and knowing that you want the most out of life. And you can't get the most out of life by playing games. You have to feel like a champion always, and always stick to your own guns, but don't be stubborn about it. But sticking to your guns is sticking to your truth, and truth always stands. Truth always stands. It supersedes everything. It makes everything better whenever you are going through your journey. I know I probably made a weird face. But it feels like a lot of the times on the spiritual journey, what happens is that we get so intense, we get so purified, we get so receptive of energy that we don't have to take on energy. We don't have to take on baggage. We don't have to hold on to stuff. We can face ourselves, and we can give ourselves that one-on-one time in the mirror where we are able to look at ourselves and to accept ourselves and love ourselves and know ourselves for who we really are. And that time, that one-on-one time in the mirror, is very difficult, because I remember the first time that I had to do it, and my partner would help me through it, because it was the most difficult thing. I had to really accept myself because I was very pessimistic and I was against myself. And self-pity is ego. And that's what the thing is about this. It's this new DNA encoding is allowing us to have more freedom, more leadership, more higher manifestations and higher vibratory natures, and also allowing us to tap into an aspect of ourselves and allowing ourselves to perfect the sacred timeline of enlightenment. Because this is the sacred timeline of enlightenment. This is the now, this is the here, this is the present. So we all have to have that one-on-one moment in the mirror to allow ourselves to really see what is truly there. That beautiful medallion, that beautiful sapphire gem. That is us. We're beautiful in our own unique way, and we're awesome, and we're amazing, and we're champions. But sometimes we can't be afraid to lay our hearts bare and give into that those lovely hands of Source. And if you can't hold your hands up, Source will hold your hands up. And if you can't feel like you can't walk, Source will allow you to walk. If you feel like you can't dream again, or imagine again, or intend again, think again, because you can do it again, and you're trying again. So this message really is realizing that no matter how many times you give into your thoughts, give into your sense perceptions, give into your lack beliefs, whatever they may be, no matter how many times you give into them, they all are two-faced nightmares. They're just two-faced nightmares. They're not real. They're illusions. And we have to disassociate with the illusion, and then associate ourselves with the illusion that we're creating within our own life. So now that we're co-creating this matrix, co-creating this divine world inside of a world, and knowing that the journey is not the destination, the journey does not have a destination, the journey is a journey within itself. And so that journey within that journey will always multiply, and it will be a multiplicity effect. But the mirror effect has the greatest effect, because it generates a different cause that generates a different effect. So it's very profound when we understand that the mirroring effect is the mirror that you're mirroring back to everyone else, and also to yourself. So if you want the greatest reflections, you want the greatest signs, the greatest confirmations, the greatest creations, then start clarifying and reverse those reflections to your best benefit. Because you're able to reverse reflections. You're able to reverse them. You don't have to be a victim to the reflections that you receive all the time. But in order to get past those reflections, you have to reverse them. You have to reverse it and change the perspective, or change the narrative, the theme, or the story of that. And then ultimately your life will change, not your wife. Maybe your wife. Maybe your wife. I don't know. That was maybe for somebody. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I do have an answer that will probably suit you. Is that give yourself a break. Give yourself some grace. It's okay. You are just fine. And every time that I give a message, I'm saying something to myself. So as I'm saying something to myself, I'm saying something to you, and my words of wisdom are resonance that gives heart activations. So we're all speaking to each other. We're all talking to ourselves, essentially. So it's funny because there's a song that I listen to. It's called Talking to Myself by a rapper, Eminem, that I listen to a lot. And it's almost as if he's having an argument with himself. So we have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. So we have to check the energy, check why we're agitated. Why do we blame other people for our transgressions? Why do we get angry? Why? It's always why. Ask the question. Don't be afraid to ask the question, and don't be afraid to address the problem either. And if you have to experience the anger and love it to death, love the agitation, love the trigger for what it's serving you right now, but then just take it like a ball of paper and just throw it away. Or put it in a ball of energy and send it to the sun. Those are my two methods, because we never truly feel as if we are feeling anything. We think our feelings are our feelings, and we're convinced by those feelings, and we feel like we have to give our power away to those feelings. Now, in the beginning, I feel like you have to really feel that denseness, feel that heaviness. But once you do that, the anger or the aggression or the attachment, whatever you're holding on to, goes away. And then you heal, and then you realize, and then you're like, oh, I got past this, so now I can be more into the vibratory alignment of who I am. So it's just always allowing ourselves to snap back into alignment, but realizing that great things are ahead of us. And this is a short little update that I wanted to make for you guys. And I will be doing lives where I do meditations more and things of that nature. So let's just do something very brief here. Okay, so just relax. Take some deep breaths. Express yourself. Express the love that is there. Express your anger. Express your frustrations. Get a notebook. Write it all down. Throw the notebook. Burn the notebook. Whatever you have to do. But then you see behind all the energy of being angry, you actually lose the sense of why it is serving you, why it is helping you, and why it hurts so much to be angry all the time. Give yourself that moment of silence. And we're only going to be doing this for a minute. But in that minute, or 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, however long this is, your life is changing. You're upping your frequency. You're allowing yourself to change. And you're allowing yourself to spread those wings and fly. Tap in to the frequency of a cat's purr. It has a certain frequency. It has a soothing quality. It's soothing to listen to. It allows you to just be perfect. It allows you to roll the R's. It allows you to relax. It allows you to live at a place of rest and relaxation. And just feel blessed. And just fill that void that's been so empty for so long. That compression, all of the suppressed creations, and allow yourself to have new DNA, to be a changed person, to allow yourselves to have new cells, new thoughts, new emotions, just a new you. A new you. And what does your new you look like? How does it feel like? How does it breathe like? How does it relax like? How does it do all the things that it wants to do? See yourself in a brand new timeline. And hone the present moment. Hone that singular moment and ride the wave until you can't find the excitement in it anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a little piece of hope, little piece of bliss, and just be awesome. This is White Wolf. Thank you so much for subscribing, share out, and also make a psychic appointment, readings, healings, activations, codes, downloads. My PayPal link is in the description as well. Go to my Facebook page, Instagram, and TikTok. And until next time, just know your guys' days are in the sun. Thank you.